Welcome back, everybody. Hey, on June 2nd, Credit Spoon will continue their series on financial literacy at the Marriott in the Bronx. Joining us with all the details, we have founder Eddie Gajadar. Gajadar.
There you go.
I always link it up with the gadget thing. Gajadar. Well, welcome. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Appreciate
You're
it.
no stranger to the show, and you have this wonderful thing coming up at the Marriott. Tell us about it.
Well, we're going to be covering financial literacy. It's Credit Spoon, credit education and financial literacy, but it's not just credit. It's so much more. We're covering 6 specific areas. I've been doing this for almost 16 years. Actually, June 2nd will be 16 years since I started this journey, okay? And over the last 16 years, I found recurring themes. What are the areas of greatest concern for just everyday people? The bottom 95% of money earners.
Yeah.
And what I found was it's budgeting, it's credit education, really understanding the ins and outs of credit, okay? Not just with understanding the range of a credit score, but really kind of dissecting it, okay? That's one. And then we focus on the top 4 areas of personal debt, okay? So in order, housing / mortgages, colleges, universities / student loans. We then go to transportation / car loans, and then of course credit cards. All right. It's focused. It's really focused, and we hone in. Okay.
What are some of the things that people should know about these things? Because they don't really teach financial literacy in a lot of the schools that we have. They'll maybe hit the surface, and they don't go in depth like you guys do.
Right. So when it comes to something like budgeting, okay, we talk about things like weddings. Okay, the cost of a wedding since 1977 has gone up 1,200%. Okay, the cost of college tuition.
Yeah.
Okay, and just colleges in general in the last 30 years have gone up by 500%. But in the same 30-year period, salaries have only gone up by 10%.
Wow. So the
Right.
leveraging is off.
Completely. Okay, so we have to understand where our decisions, how we make our decisions first.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So how we make our decisions is just vastly important. First things first. Because what we want to do is change habits.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to change habits, how people do things on a daily basis. All right. If we're not changing habits, if we're just disseminating information, that doesn't help anybody. Okay, we need to change habits, and once we do that, then we can move into the education part of it.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Just
so-
like the young lady that we had up here before, she was talking about changing the mind. Claudia, she's
Yep,
still in
she's
the
awesome.
audience here, and she was talking about at first, she was going through a lot of stuff, but in order to make that change, you have to change your mind, your thought process.
Absolutely.
And then there's that paradigm shift when people come up to you and say, "Wow, there's something different about this person. They're
Absolutely.
doing things differently."
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, they will try to follow you. If it looks good,
Yep.
you look successful.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've been doing this for some time. Tell us about how you got started
Yeah. So
and what the business is all about.
when I graduated from law school, I didn't want to practice because I looked at the lifestyle. I kind of knew beforehand
Yeah,
I didn't want
yeah.
to practice. So I said, okay, how am I going to pay back these student loans
Yeah.
that I took out? So I started doing it one-to-one. I had
started
one-to-one
calculating right
clients.
there.
Right. But I was focusing on the population that I really didn't want to necessarily, but I needed to make money.
Yeah.
Right. Where I wanted to be was at the bottom 95%, because I come from a family of blue-collar workers.
Yeah.
My father was a doorman. My mother was a secretary. My stepmother was a clerk, checkout clerk at Duane Reade. So I understand. I worked in a hardware store. I push hand trucks. I know what hard work is. And I know how hard it is to stretch that dollar. So I started with a more high-end clientele.
Yeah.
But over the last, I'll say, maybe 10 years, I kind of shifted that focus. And we've done workshops. We have at St. John's University, York College, Kingsborough. I teach a course on this at one of our local colleges here.
Kingsborough over there in Brooklyn, right?
In Brooklyn.
Yeah. By the water.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful campus, right?
I get on a friend's boat and you see the emblem and everything over
Yeah,
there.
beautiful campus.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
awesome. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So we're all over the tri-state area. We've done work in with organizations, nonprofits, barrier-free living, Freedom House,
Yeah.
We've even worked with NYPD, community outreach. Excuse me.
Yeah, we're going to get together on
Yeah.
a few things too, to make the
I
Grade
hope so.
Foundation.
I hope
We're
so.
talking about it, but we're looking for that venue, and or maybe we just have to create
Yeah,
a pseudo event and just make it happen right there.
that'll be great.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
So you do have these seminars. What do the Credit Spoon seminars offer people who participate in them?
Well, again, what we're going to do is give them, we're going to kind of bring things home, right? Because if you do a Google search, you're going to come back with millions and millions of results. You know,
Yeah.
just with, let's say, debt payoff. You'll probably come back with 8 million plus results.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that? Nothing, absolutely nothing, because it's just too much. So it's kind of like you have to decipher the code. So what we've done, excuse me, is decipher the code. We've broken it down, okay, into small itty bitty pieces. Right, and it's a real
Make
world
it
approach.
easier
It's
to
real-
digest.
It is absolutely digestible.
Yeah.
And that's one of the words that
Credit
comes,
spoon.
that
Yeah,
comes
there
up.
you go.
Right, exactly. We spoon feed.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I
There you
got
go.
I
There
got
go.
you. I'm with you.
Yeah. So what we do is we break it down into small pieces, okay? And we talk about all these things about changing habits. We talk about of course budgeting and all the rest. Okay. It's a 6-pronged approach. We don't go left and we don't go right.
Yeah.
Because if you can have this foundation, okay, or once you have this foundation, you will never look back. You will never ever look back.
So if you have debt like Michael Maxnavi, and you're looking to pay something off, where do you start? Do you start at his home? Do you start with his credit cards, or do you
Well-
start with his student loan that he's paying back?
So the first thing we do is we look at the budget, okay? Because a lot of people they feel like there's not enough in the budget. So we look at
Yeah.
their budget and we dissect it, okay? Of course, we have various worksheets, various tools to kind of dissect that and help people find money within their budget,
Ah, yeah.
okay? Because we want people to understand where their money's going. So we have not just the education component, but we also have an action plan. So
Yeah.
within our action plan, it's steps 1 through 6, okay, is all about you finding your money.
Finding your money.
Finding
But,
your
people
money.
get kind of frustrated. They say, I got this big bill that comes in every month.
Right.
Should I pay this first or should I pay this first?
Right.
Should they pay the high interest credit card first?
Our approach is to pay the lowest balance first.
The lowest balance.
Right, lowest balance first. So one of our worksheets is called a credit
Get it
card
off the
worksheet.
table.
We want everyone to pay their minimums, of course,
Yeah.
okay? But then any discretionary, remember steps 1 through 6, we're giving you the plan, all right, to show you where your money's going and to find that money, that extra discretionary.
That
Okay?
you may want to pay a little extra to pay it down.
Correct. So you're going to pay minimums. Let's say you have 4 credit cards. You'll pay minimums on each, and then discretionary, you'll take that and apply it to the lowest balance first. Good?
Lowest balance, highest interest?
No, lowest balance first.
Lowest
we
balance
don't even
first.
concern ourselves with highest
Gotcha.
interest.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
Where can we go for more information on this?
More information.
Because I see the floor manager going like this.
creditspoon.eventbrite.com.
Credit spoon.
Creditspoon.eventbrite.com. You can also email us at creditspooncontact@gmail.
Write that down, everybody.
Creditspooncontact@gmail.com.
gmail.com.
Or if you want more further information or to register, you can go to creditspoon.eventbrite.com.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
There he is. Give him a big round of applause, everybody. Eddie, he's a friend of the show. Eddie Gajadar. Yes, indeed. And he is the founder and CEO of Credit Spoon. They'll help you digest everything that you need. We'll take a break, come back with more next.